What up everyone, Jay here, welcome to my page, and for the longest time I've been thinking about what to call this particular set of film reviews / recommendations, and everything I think of is either overplayed, cliched, overdone, stupid, etc. Doesn't make any sense. That being said, as you can see from the bottom below, by the title, that I went with the cliched one because I'm not that original. So this is the ABCs of Horror, where I reviewed 26 different horror movies that aren't necessarily well known by the general public, but if you're a horror fan like me, you pretty much know all of these. So starting off with the letter A, I'm probably going to go with one of my favorite slasher movies of all time, 1976, Alice, Sweet Alice. Directed by Alfred Sole, it's also known as Communion or Holy Terror. It's pretty much the American answer to the Italian giallo films, and it's the film debut of Brooke Shields, who later on went on to Blue Lagoon, that weird episode of Friends. So this movie stars Paula Shepherd as Alice, the older sister to Karen, who's played by Brooke Shields. Spoiler alert, even though this movie is made in 1976, so I don't know if the spoiler alert applies here, but in order to tell the plot, the movie takes place during Karen's first communion. Ultimately, she gets killed. The rest of the movie is pretty much a whodunit-style mystery where the estranged father comes back to town after Karen's funeral and tries to figure out what the hell happened to his daughter. That being said, a lot of people are putting the blame on Alice because she is the older sister who is very jealous of Karen's attention that she gets from the family, from the priest, from pretty much everyone, because she's pretty much the black sheep of the family. What I love about this movie is, even though it's formulaic in a slasher film type way, you kind of don't know what's going to happen next, or who to root for particularly. Alice, the main character, does a lot of weird fucked up shit that you might associate with a serial killer. That being said, there's a lot of people in her life that act the same way, and you kind of feel for her by the end of the movie. Imagine if everyone around you thinks that you're crazy and a killer, your aunt doesn't want anything to do with you, and you have a landlord that wants to rape you. You might be a little fucked up yourself. Besides some great acting and a really good story, the best thing going for this movie is its style. As I said before, a lot of people consider this America's answer to the Italian giallo films, with comparisons to early Dario Argento and Lucio Fulci, which I definitely get, for the simple fact that this is a hauntingly beautiful movie. It almost makes you feel like you're watching some sort of fucked up fever dream, with a lot of washed up colors but vibrantness. It's all over the place, but in a beautiful, beautiful way. Just like any good slasher movie, the killer has to have a memorable costume, and this one is no exception. So throughout the movie, Alice wears a yellow raincoat, which is also what the killer wears, which implies that Alice is the killer, but I'm not going to ruin that surprise for you. So beside the yellow raincoat, the killer also wears a plastic translucent mask with some makeup painted on it. What I love about that mask is, just like the movie Scream, they already used a commonly found mask and used it for the movie. So common, in fact, that I have one just like it. Tell me this isn't scary. So enough of my rambling. What else can I say about Alice, Sweet Alice except go see this movie. If you like a good horror movie that has great cinematography, a haunting atmosphere, you're a fan of giallos or a slasher film, this is a good one to see. Definitely underrated, definitely underappreciated, but it has a special place in my heart. It also made a star to Brooke Shields. Enough said.